T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's get ready to sucker!
Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. It's running over with the color signs. Try to take it from me. Big time. Teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, from me, from me, from me. Big time, number 9. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
Everybody, and welcome to a Monday edition of the YSN Power Hour under the new intro. I hope you like it. I like it just fine. Billy Mack, I'm sure you like it, especially for the ending there.
Yeah, I mean, nothing better than RKO, and
No, there's nothing better than an RKO, especially as Jeff, I can't wait to see you again because you will get another one. Whether it is going to be on video or not, you are going to receive... I might stun you. RKO's Billy's thing. You might just get a stone cold stunner.
Why is that?
Because you're a jackass. We're just going to put it out there because you're a jackass. We'll talk about Ty's wedding in a little bit. But first, we have to get to the national day. That is National All or Nothing Day here on YSN. So happy National All or Nothing Day. Guys, what is one thing in your life that you go all in for or you stay the hell away from on National All or Nothing Day? Paul, go ahead.
Food.
What is the all in?
That's it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, food. If I'm going to eat, I'm just going to eat. I'm not going to eat like a little bit of this or a little bit of that. You know, no. I mean, that's it. I mean, nothing. I mean, then don't eat.
Is there like you're going all in on one particular type of food and nowhere near a particular other type of food?
Oh man, I mean that's tough. I mean, I like tacos, I like pizza, I like hamburgers. I mean, you know, it's just go. If it's there, go. I don't like beans. So if it's got beans, then I'm getting the hell away from it.
You did not put any beans on your plate on Friday. I know that.
No, I didn't. I don't like them. I like green beans, but like beans, like pork and beans and stuff, no, those things are nasty.
Do you eat like chili? Like you put
No.
like beans in chili?
No, when she makes chili, it might as well just be like a sloppy Joe because there's no beans in it. I don't want the beans. So, I mean, it's got the chili powder and it looks like chili and you can dip crackers and shit in it, but I mean, put cheese on it, but there's no beans in it.
Isn't that the whole point of chili? Is chili beans?
I don't know, maybe, but I get chili sloppy Joe.
You get sloppy balls. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, what are you all in on? What are you all out on?
I'm all in on like golf, and I'm out on laying up on a par 5 when you're in a scramble or playing real bad. Like always go for those. I'm always out on people who lay up on par 5s.
Okay, I can respect that. Billy, how about you?
I'm all in on like opening weekends and opening day. For like baseball for opening day, I want to watch everything as much as I can. Same goes for the NFL opening weekend. I want to have like 12 TVs and watch every single game. All out. I'm not really sure. I guess I'm either all in or all out. It's kind of how I took the question. So I'm all in that respect. I'm all out on 120 degrees, but I'll be there anyway.
You're alluding to your Texas, that you're on your way to the Lone Star State.
Yep. Laredo.
I am all in on youth sports, man. Over the weekend, it was really cool to see these 10-year-olds really do it up the right way. There's a discipline that these kids have at 10 that I never, ever dreamt of as a 9 or 10-year-old. I'm all out on parents being psychopaths, on whatever, or grandparents in some cases being psychopaths on not necessarily what we do, but I'll incorporate it into what we do. Is like we had an instance where people were questioning one of our announcers because he laughed during a broadcast, and he was just not prepared at all for the Little League rules and exchanges and substitutions and stuff like that. So he was just kind of overwhelmed, and his natural reaction was that he laughed. And we received a few messages from a team saying, are you laughing at our team? Is this funny to you? That's rude and inconsiderate. Calm down. Relax. We don't do that here. We don't laugh at people's other people's expenses. Here, like, chill out. And you want to make a public comment and spit on somebody, you better make sure your game's airtight, because that was horse crap. So I'm all out on that crap. Like, if you're a parent and you don't want to go, we're a great resource for you to have, but you're not going to sit there and blast one of my guys for like laughing. Not at your kids, not at your team, but at a situation. Just not going to happen. That's an all out for me. So they can get all out too. For what it's worth. Mosier says, all in on friends and family, man. I'd do anything for them. Love it. That's a great all in on. Now, this one I'm not so keen on. The Cleveland Browns. All in Super Bowl champs. I will say this. I'm all in on those new Browns jerseys. Those are awesome. The white ones with they kind of remind me of the 49ers uniforms when Steve Young was there. You remember those?
Yep.
Those were sharp, and the Browns ones are super sharp. Even as a Steelers fan, I got to give a tip of the cap to whoever came up with those, because I think that's the best uniform set they have.
I don't know. I like those Nike ones they did on Thursday night that we brought back last year. I like those ones too. The 75. Those are the 75 anniversary ones.
Yeah.
I think those are nice.
The white on white Browns ones have always been a favorite of mine, because there's just a look to it. Like, even from an East Palestine standpoint, when we went white on whites, it was just clean. And I like the look. They don't really do it that often. They've fallen in love with those brown pants, which is caca. Guys, a lot to talk about on the show today in regards to sports. We're going to talk trade deadline. And Mac, you and I got a bone to pick, because the freaking Padres got even better yesterday with Adam Frazier in the midst of a baseball game, leaving Pittsburgh and heading to San Diego to join the Padres. The Padres give up 3 prospects, which I think is more than enough and more than equal to Adam Frazier's value. Yes, he's an all-star. However, we live in a society, boys, that I'm going to drop a bomb on you. A dime ain't worth a dollar. And the Pirate fans thinking that they're going to get Fernando Tatis or someone back for Adam Frazier is absolutely ridiculous. Was this a good trade? Do fans nowadays, because they play fantasy, overvalue their trade bait to get stuff back? Yes or no? Billy, we'll start with you.
I really like the trade. So I guess, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a fair trade, so yes.
Do you think that Pirates fans are overvaluing Frazier right now?
I mean, yes. They just came out and said they were going to build around the other guy.
Brian Reynolds.
Brian Reynolds. So, like, when they came out and say that, and as an organization they believe that, and they're not going to make the playoffs this year, they're not going to go on some ridiculous run. So, yeah, like, get whatever you can out of them. I thought they probably, that was obviously the best offer that they were going to get from them. So, hopefully one of those guys pan out for the Pirates, and it's a win.
And I think that's the misconception here is we're getting 3 guys back. One of them's the top 5 prospect in the Padres organization. Now, if you know who the top 4 are, you understand why they were untouchable. You're not going to get the top 4 prospects in the Padres organization. Nobody is, because the Padres are building something that they might have to blow up here in a little bit. They can build around Tatis Jr. They might not be able to keep Machado. They're definitely not going to be able to keep all the pieces that they have. They're going all in, which they should, on a young team. But for the Pirates fans to sit there and say, you know what, this is just typical Pirates, give away an all-star, get 3 no-names. Adam Frazier was a 6th-round draft pick. A 6th-round draft pick.
He's a utility player. He's a utility player. So utility players are valuable at the trade deadline. You got value from them. It's a good deal. Works on both sides. The Padres need a guy they can put in the outfield. They can also play middle infield and maybe even third base because Tatis and Machado have been in and out of the lineup. They got Kim there to kind of play shortstop, so he probably won't see any shortstop playing time. But
he's a second baseman and an outfielder. That's who he is. That's who you get.
And it's a perfect spot, and that's exactly what they need outside of maybe another arm or two. But everybody needs more arms. I mean, anybody who says they have enough arms are full of shit.
He wasn't coming back in 2 years, right? He's got 2 years of control. He's got opportunity in San Diego to go and chase a championship, essentially. I mean, the Padres, are they in second now? Did I see that? Second or third? So you look at that. I mean, if it's not – the Pirates beat the wrong team in the West as far as I'm concerned. They can't beat the freaking Diamondbacks, but, hey, we can take 2 out of 3 from the Giants. I was pissed about that. I'm not going to lie to you. But then you have these teams that think that Ben Cherington is the best GM that the Pirates have had in 2-3 decades, I would say. He got what he could back for Frazier. He's not going to get a king's ransom for a singles hitter batting .325. You're not going to get that. Everybody's in love with power, as they should be, and the power numbers draw in big trades. You got 3 prospects back. One of them's a power hitter. The other one's essentially Adam Frazier at 21 years old, and you got a pitcher. So be happy with it. Like you said, Billy, if one of them works out, it's an even trade. But if 2 of them work out, you win the deal. I remember 4 years ago, 3 years, whatever it was, when they traded Andrew McCutchen, and people thought that they deserved to get, a top prospect in the MLB. They got Brian Reynolds. He's an all-star. You won the trade. Yep. You won the trade. You got it. That's what you just want somebody that's equal to Andrew McCutchen.
It's difficult because
McCutchen was a big fan favorite, though. That's the thing.
He was a fan favorite. Yeah.
This is what it is, right? It's this. It's you're being blind. Because if they still had Andrew McCutchen at this point, they'd be calling for his head as they were years ago in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I looked at Andrew McCutchen as he was like how Larry Fitzgerald was when he was there at Pitt. Like, people loved him. Like, he was like that respectful guy that like you never heard anything bad about him.
Right.
You know, he was always signing autographs for kids and doing stuff. And I mean, Fitzgerald's still that way in the NFL. Like he is a class act guy, and McCutcheon's one of those guys. And it's just it's unfortunate that Pittsburgh gets good guys like that, and then like they end up having to get rid of them because either the market's high for them and you need to strike while the iron's hot, or you know you can't afford them, so now you're just shipping them away, and then you're shipping fan favorites away, and people are like, why am I going to pay this crap money to go watch this team? And you know, what are you getting? You don't know who's going to be there half the time.
Best comment I saw last night was, if the Pirates are going to be a minor league organization, stop charging us major league prices.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of truth.
Not like funny, haha, but like ironic. Yeah,
it's true.
Funny.
Yeah. And I get it. Chris Sigler says Pirate fans are just really chapped from the cycle never ending, but that's the life of a small market club. This is not the Jeff Betos Yankees that you just get to throw money at your problems and let them go away, and then still get beat by the Boston Red Sox. Even after
you just have an owner, and you know, and it's not Pirate fans' fault. You just have an owner that's not as invested into the team as the fans are.
Pittsburgh fans, and I will say this without even,
and Pittsburgh fans are used to winning. The Penguins and the Pirates, you know. They're just used to winning. It's a weird. You can't. If you're a Pittsburgh fan, you're usually a fan of all the organizations, and
right.
It's hard to like turn that winning switch off when it comes to baseball season.
It's really challenging to watch some of these teams come through, and they talk about the window, and then the window closes, and you're left holding the bag. Like Andrew McCutcheon was here probably a season or two longer than he should have been. If you were really going to get max value for him. After he wins that MVP, you probably go, oh, you know what? We'll move you. Because then you get some real top-tier talent. I mean, the same way that the Packers are sitting there on their hands with Aaron Rodgers, thank you. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, is he going to have another MVP-type season this year after you guys had that battle in the offseason? I don't think so. I don't think. He's never going to have a higher trade value than he has right now. But the Pirates thought, you know what? We can have him just fill the seats, and we can bring revenue in whether we win or lose. So we don't care. Because if you trade Andrew McCutcheon a year after, or the offseason after he wins the NL MVP, guess what? Ticket sales, gone. See ya.
I don't mean to be I didn't want to talk about the Pirates for so long, but like if I'm the Pirates, I'm really going after like everybody in the Tampa Bay Rays organization and saying, come here and do what you do there, here. Because it would be a win-win. The owner would still make money, but their talent evaluation is so much better than anybody else's at this point in the game when you're talking about Tampa Bay.
I like Charrington.
They just know how to just draft and develop players and make the right trades, and it's nothing. They never make the fancy moves. They have their guys. They develop their guys, and they change coaches, and they just win baseball teams. It's incredible. The only team that I've ever noticed that's like mid-market teams that are great is the Cardinals. Yeah, their history is ridiculous.
But as we've seen with the Cardinals and with the Pirates, it takes one trade or one signing to screw up everything for everybody all the way down. Nolan Arenado, and I'm not blaming everything on Nolan Arenado, but that Nolan Arenado trade completely changed St. Louis.
Yeah.
Would you, as a Pirates fan, would you rather see a new owner?
No, I like Ben Cherington. I think Ben Cherington is built for this stage in Pittsburgh. They just signed 4 of their top 4 draft picks, right? Were in the top 32. They were all supposed to go in the first round. So that's a big win for the Pirates. Now the question is, and what everybody says is, that's great that we have them. Can we keep them? And can we grow them into being good baseball players? 25%. I think that's the number. 25% of players that get drafted actually make it into the show. So you look at that. I'll roll the dice on 4 first rounders. That we didn't necessarily have to go, and we're not paying them huge over slot, but we are paying them over slot. So I'm interested from this standpoint. If Cherington can build what he did in Boston under the Pirates banner and doing it the Pirate way, I don't think we'll be a long successful franchise, but I think we could probably go to a World Series. And if at this point our team's fighting to win 62 games, a World Series doesn't sound so bad. Even if you just win the NL, if you can go win the pennant, awesome. But I mean, as a Pirate fan, I've always said that's the team that I will cry if they win a championship. Like, I will be emotionally. You guys know, you've been down. My basement is PNC Park. I'm invested in the Pirates. I love the Pirates. I love the game of baseball. I just want that championship, man. One time in my life, I want to see it. Like, Browns fan wants to see and have longed to see a Super Bowl champion in Cleveland. If the Browns win the Super Bowl, that city burns to the ground.
Yes.
Like you've never seen before.
It would look like Escape from L.A., the movie.
It'd be like The Purge. It'd be The Purge is what it would be. You just see people riding around in a tank and just blowing stuff up because that's as good as you banged Madonna, man. That's it. It's over.
Yeah, I just sit there and always feel bad because in the early '90s the Pirates had some good teams and some great players, and then it just kind of started just going downhill, and the ownership after that they don't want to spend money. I mean, and it blows my mind. Sigler chiming in there saying that the owner is the 10th richest in baseball, plus gets revenue sharing. Like, so. But I mean, my thing is like they turned away years ago, and I think we've talked about this once before. I was all in on seeing Mark Cuban come in and buy the Pirates, but because the old man MLB owners that those guys are, they didn't want him in there. And I mean, people can say what they want about the Dallas Mavericks. He took a shitty Dallas Mavericks team and said, treat these guys like gold, do nice things for them, even though you are paying them millions of dollars on top of that, and you'll get people that want to play there and play for you. And the Mavericks for a long time were like the staple of the West.
He won one championship though, right?
Okay, would you have traded everything for one championship for Pittsburgh Pirates?
No, yes, but at the same token, here's the thing, Paul. We talk about Mark Cuban like he's some kind of like unbelievable owner. You know what he does? He makes money because he knew his team had to be good so he could sell the things in his arena for profit. That's the difference between Mark Cuban, that if you watch him on Shark Tank, he's everybody's favorite, but the dude's out for profit. He's an owner because he's making a profit. We don't get mad at him, but we get mad at Bob Nutting. Bob Nutting is making a profit. Why are we mad at the owner all the time because he doesn't spend money? His job is to own the team and make money. So if they lose 60 or if they lose 100 games with a payroll of 40 million, or they lose 100 games with a payroll of 100 million, who's eating that profit?
But Cuban was willing to spend money to get players to come to town.
Because he had to get a winning team.
Okay. So if he would have bought the Pirates and went out and got a ton of good free agents, and they run and they win the NL pennant and they make a run at the World Series, then the stadium's packed, and yes, he's going to start making money.
PNC makes a profit without the team being good because it's a beautiful facility.
Yeah, but they could make more, though. They would have been able to get.
They were a winning team. They were a winning team. They won 98 games.
If you're above 500 and you're, it's a winning season, that's great. I mean, I just would like to have seen, because I think that team deserves somebody who's going to be invested in them and say, I'm going to go spend and get some free agents to come here to make this team a winning team. You can draft all you want, and I get it. And that's how you start. You build your farm system and you build up from there. But if you're building up and then those guys get to a certain point and they're so good and you're trading them away every single time you turn around to keep rebuilding your farm system, you don't have superstars. If you don't have superstars, you don't win games.
So let's look at, you're saying that if he spent more money, if Nutting spent more money, and I know what Sigler's saying, if he spent more money, that he would produce fans that actually showed up to the ballpark and cared?
When teams win and there's people there to watch, they're going to show up.
Let's look at Cleveland. You don't have to look very far to figure out what it looks like when you spend money and people still don't show up. And then people still blame the Dolans.
A lot of their superstars, though, they start trading their guys away, and because they know they can't afford them, because
that was even before that. So even like the 2017 year when they were coming out of going to the World Series, you remember Frankie put out a public letter to the community, to Cleveland, saying we need you to show up at our stadiums. Like we're coming off a World Series run. You know, they were the heavy favorites in the American League to go to the World Series in 2017, and they still weren't selling out that much. I think it's a hybrid. I mean, the problem is you see teams like Oakland, you see teams like Tampa Bay, and you see these mid-market teams not spending money and having a lot of success when they don't have the fans that are really supporting them. It's a tough decision to make, like, hey, we can't spend a lot of money because people don't show up at our games. And it's not just winning, because teams win. Tampa Bay's been winning, and they can't get 50% of people into their stadium.
You're exactly right. And Tampa Bay is built more like Pittsburgh than Cleveland is, right? From that market standpoint, which is crazy to me, but that's how it is. Cleveland is living proof that all Bob Nutting has to do is look over that way and go, oh, so you're telling me all these people want me to spend money and lose profit, but if I put money in, they're going to show up? I don't think so. Because I think, yes, it happened one time, right? It happened with that 98 win season. We promised, if you show up, we're going to spend money. They didn't spend money. But that team, I think, outkicked their coverage a little bit too. Like, you went up, I believe the 98 win team was the team that went up against it was either Chicago or San Francisco, right? And it was, you got Mad Bum and you got Jake Arrieta. So take your pick, because they both just blew right through you. And then if it wasn't that season, it would have been the St. Louis Cardinals, which I think they won in...
They had Carpenter.
So. Yeah, 3 games. So good luck. So, I mean, it's one of those things, like, everybody, from an ownership standpoint, everybody wants you to spend money, but at the end of the day, you're the one spending the most. Everybody is, you're dishing the most money out. He's spending millions and millions. $40 million? I don't care. Anybody else got $40 million that they want to spend on a 62-win ball club?
Plus, when you're good, the ticket prices go. And, where we live in, not even just in today's world with today's climate, but just in Pittsburgh to Cleveland, it's not like got people out here making like money like New Yorkers make.
No. Jeff, would you want to go to a Yankees game no matter who was suiting up in the pinstripes, or is it just because they have the star power of Stanton and Judge and LeMahieu and all those guys that it's the draw for you that would make you want to pay $100 for a nosebleed ticket?
No, I would just go whoever is playing. Even when they were, like, I even told my dad when they were winning like 86, 87 games there for a while and not playing very good baseball, I would still want to go to Yankee Stadium just to watch. Well,
I wish it would be terrible for the Pirates to win 86, 87 games.
It's just like that. Like, I would go watch any Yankees team play because it's the Yankees. It's my favorite. It's my favorite team out of all the sports. And even if they had all the flashy names, I would still go. But obviously, you see how that works for us. We just blow, 3 games out of a 4-game series. So thank you.
No hitter going into the 8th. You lose 5.
Yeah, I know. Let's put a ground ball pitcher in and try to get an out when we need a strikeout.
Which brings us to the Yankee update with Jeff Betos.
There's no really update. It's the same old team, just a different freaking just a different time, just the second half of the baseball season. They're not going to make any trades. Brian Cashman isn't going to do anything to help out. People want Aaron Boone fired. I don't really disagree with that. If you're going to do something, then, if that's what they do, then okay. Like, we have to accept it as Yankee fans. Cashman needs to go too. It's terrible. Like, we haven't made a move in the last 3 or 4 years. Well, I want to say 3 or 4 years. The last 2 years, mainly, we haven't made anything to help them out to try to get better.
Didn't they get Chapman back?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was like. I think Chapman was 4 or 5 years ago.
LeMahieu a couple years ago. Oh, okay.
Again, I'm not saying like that helped at that point, but they haven't done anything since.
You just said they haven't done anything in the last 3 years. I just mentioned 2 deals that they just did.
Okay, Chapman was like 5 years ago, so that was outside the 4.
5 years ago would have been 2016. He played for the Cubs.
Oh,
I know this because
he
Roger
came
Davis
back
hit a
the
home
very
run
next
against
year. So who cares? I'm just saying, like, it's frustrating right now because you really think about that. Severino just got hurt again, tore his groin. Won't pitch the rest of his career. Should just retire.
His career?
Yeah. He literally went down to rehab, had one start, re-hurt his elbow, then came back from that elbow injury, tore his groin. Kluber threw 1 inning in his rehab start, hurt his shoulder.
Well, that's on you. Kluber was broken.
Told you so.
And I never liked it. I said that from day one. I never really liked the Kluber signing. They were just banking on him, hoping he had a halfway decent career. What I really think hurts them is the fact that they didn't sign Tanaka back. He wanted to come back. Tanaka wanted to pitch in New York, but we didn't sign him back.
So everybody that wants to pitch in New York, you have to sign him?
When you need arms as starting pitchers as the Yankees do, yeah, I would have definitely signed Tanaka back.
Monday morning quarterback, yeah, but you had Kluber, which everybody was excited because he's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, and then you also got Jameson Taillon.
When he was in his prime in Cleveland. Then went to Texas, had bad knees, and couldn't pitch.
It was 1 year.
Like, he was his prime was in Cleveland. He's washed up. He's old. He's done. And it's frustrating because they stink. Like
the problem is with the Yankees, as it always is, they have.
It's just frustrating.
They never have young talent behind their older veterans to come in a pinch and play a little bit. They always deplete their farm system to go and get these big-time stars, and then when these big-time stars are getting paid, they're a little less eager to play when they got a hangnail.
Well,
because they're not hungry, dude.
Look at Giancarlo Stanton. Was it 2 years ago he played like 62 games? That's all he played, and we brought him back for the postseason.
That's an MVP too. All right, so let's not everybody was losing their mind when the New York Yankees got Giancarlo Stanton. He
stinks in the Yankees uniform. Derek Jeter knew what he was doing when he traded him because he couldn't afford that contract, and they knew that he could trade him away from New York.
$300 million.
That's what he was doing. That's
what I'm saying.
And there's who in the MLB who's going to take a $300 million contract? There's probably 3 teams.
The Mets, the Yankees, and the Red Sox.
In LA.
Not even
LA because they're smart enough to know not to do that.
Well, here's the thing. With all due respect, Derek Jeter took a beating whenever he traded everybody out of Miami.
Yeah.
He said that they're tanking, they're doing this. He was trying to get that empty, dog shit money off the books. And essentially what happened was he got rid of Giancarlo Stanton because the Yankees go, wait. You want us to pick that up? No problem. We got this one. We'll take this one. And we'll get you back, Derek. We'll get you back. So guess what? 3 years later or whatever it is, you can't sit there and be like, Derek Jeter knew what he was doing. You were probably the guy that was drinking.
I was happy. I was happy because he just hit 58 home runs the year before.
Yep.
And I was real happy, and I was like, all right, cool. And he had a good year coming out of that. I think he hit 45 or 30. I don't know how much home runs, but he hit.
So 2 years later, you're going to sit there and say that he was broken?
Yeah, he's terrible. He's terrible. Like Billy said, he got and he's right. Played 62 games and then came back, hurt his knee. I have a hamstring injury.
A guy playing for $300 million and a guy playing for $300,000 are way different.
Yeah. When you get paid, you don't want to get up early in the morning anymore because you already got paid.
Because you're done. You made it. Right?
Conor McGregor is a prime example of that. Dude got paid. Does he really want to get up at 6 a.m. to go fight anymore? Hell no. You want to get punched in the face?
No.
Yes.
MMA is a completely different animal.
You get punched in the face, man. That's a whole different thing.
MMA is a completely different animal. You age in dog years in MMA. And Conor McGregor, it's not that he doesn't have the fight in him. It's that it's a young man's game.
Oh, he got his butt beat the last fight.
He snapped his ankle, dude.
What?
On a check. Check that leg kick. Fractured that leg.
Look at Paige. Paige is saying stop it.
No,
I think you're a little out of your arena here today, Jeffrey.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's the same way with him. He got paid. Dude got paid.
Dude was getting paid, and he was still kicking people's asses.
He was not making as much as he was doing then when he got paid fighting Floyd Mayweather. Got paid good playing that.
That was a different sport, though. That was boxing.
I know, but he got paid. I'm saying that when he got paid, he started to not fight very well.
What do you say? When you say got paid, what is got paid to you? Getting paid.
Getting paid. Yeah, he's getting paid for what he did, fighting Floyd Mayweather, then fighting Khabib and getting his ass beat, and then fighting Nate Diaz.
Use your Google.
Getting his ass beat.
How much did McGregor get in the last few fights?
Wait, he made. I think the McGregor and Mayweather fight was almost $400 million split.
Correct.
So
that is a different sport.
$400 million.
He made more in that fight than he did probably his career combined in MMA.
It's same thing. You got paid, and do you want to get up to go do anything? If you're $400 million richer?
Listen, it's a different thing when somebody's punching in your face. You're just seeing 95 coming, into a strike zone. Like, that's a whole. It's apples to oranges here.
I'm just saying, he got paid. He's a different person. Same with Giancarlo. He got paid.
McGregor got paid $5 million in the Poirier fight. $5 million.
For what? 2 minutes?
Yep.
Was it? Yeah. No, it was a whole round, so it was 5 minutes. Towards the tail end. It was like 2 seconds left in the round.
So, Paige saying McGregor Poirier 3 was still the second highest pay-per-view in UFC.
Yeah, because the name is going to draw him in.
He got $5 million just to show up and $11,000 as fight week incentive pay.
Floyd got paid and kept winning.
He won the fight, and he got $1 million to show up and $21,000 for incentive pay. So a $4 million difference in those two. And because McGregor's a name, he got paid.
Yeah, it's hard to compare the two, Jeff. It's to me, it's not the same. It's apples and oranges.
In May, McGregor is the world's highest paid athlete over the past 12 months. He's made $20 million over the last.
He's the highest paid athlete right now.
He's the highest paid athlete in the world. That can't be right.
One of the things. No. I look it up.
In combat sports, maybe that has to be.
Well, this just said he's the world's highest paid athlete over the last 12 months.
That can't be right.
He got
Mookie Betts just signed that huge contract.
Well, you get these world soccer players, and it's not even close.
Well, Betts' contract's what, $350 million?
I mean, even LeBron's contract's $40 million this year.
Yeah, I don't want to argue contracts because Paul's doing us a solid here, but I think maybe that's in combat sports.
The world's 10 highest paid athletes. Number 1, Conor McGregor. It's what it's saying.
I don't know how that's possible.
$180 million Conor McGregor makes. $180 million. Messi is 2. I'm expecting that it's this year. So it's $180 million, Conor McGregor. Messi is 2 at $130 million. Ronaldo is 3 at $120.
Yep. Dak Prescott at 107. LeBron at 96. Neymar at 95. Roger Federer at 90.
Okay. Well, I heard 20. That's why I got thrown off. So somebody said 180. Okay.
That's a little bit different. But here's the thing: I don't.
In Formula One made $82 million.
That's why Paige likes it so much. Let me ask you a question, Jeff. Do you think Conor McGregor's not trying? Do you think he doesn't get up in the morning and try his hardest? Or do you think basically you're saying you think he's okay getting his ass kicked as long as he's getting paid?
Well, no, I don't think he ever is okay getting his ass kicked. I don't think so. But I think it's a lot. I think you're seeing a lot of different Conor McGregor than you did earlier when he was not getting paid as much. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm not taking away that he's not trying as hard. I think it's really kind of harder to get up in the morning to do what he wants to do.
It said McGregor took home an additional $20 million in UFC 257. So the fight earlier this year at 257, he took home an additional $20 million.
Matt saying, "What a world! Floyd has hundreds of millions and can't read or write. Jeff, there is hope." Matt's supposed to have a meeting right now.
Maybe it's a little dull.
Hopefully he's not blowing on anybody off. Formula One. Now you're speaking my language, says Paige. And then he's also 5 years old. That's what I'm talking about. Baseball is not necessarily a young man's game. Fighting is. Like, Floyd Mayweather, yes, did he keep winning? He's still undefeated, correct? I think, as far as I know.
Do you count the loss to Jake Paul? Or to Logan Paul, whoever Paul really fought?
Attaboy, Matt.
He didn't lose that.
I saw on Twitter that he lost. Everyone said he's lost the fight.
Wasn't it a no decision or not a real decision?
I think it was like an exhibition fight or something like that. But
it was not even really a fight. There were so many ridiculous rules. You couldn't knock your opponent to the ground, all that kind of stuff.
My thing is yes, 5 years older, Conor McGregor, and how we got started, I have no idea. But I want to, just before we go to break, I want to say 100% that if you are in a fighting or a combat sport, as you get older, the paychecks still come in, but it's on your name and not necessarily on your talent anymore. Does that make sense?
Paige's comment is a little wild because Dustin Poirier is 31 and Conor McGregor is 33. 2-year difference. It's not that big of a difference.
Khabib is one of the best to ever fight in the UFC. To say Conor is lazy because he got paid is ridiculous.
It's not. They'd say that he's 5 years old. Well, he's 5 years older now. Well, so Dustin Poirier, did he just not get any? This 5 years ago, he was just bad. But now we have him at 33, and Dustin Poirier is 31. Are we just saying that 31's young in fighting? I don't think 31's very young in fighting.
Floyd Mayweather is 50-0.
Yeah. So
I wasn't arguing that he wasn't.
His last fight was against McGregor. 50-0.
That's nuts. That's crazy. But let's face it, and I know Conor McGregor did a good job, but was he fighting championship caliber athletes at 40-0, at 45-0? That's what you got to wonder. Because here's the thing, McGregor is fighting guys that are championship caliber athletes. They are top notch. I don't know. So a boxing fan will have to tell me because I have no clue. But I have to believe that McGregor is facing better competition because he gets more of a purse.
Well, I think this MMA is just
Oscar De La Hoya.
He was old.
Sugar Shane Mosley. Miguel Cotto.
The biggest dig on Mayweather was he fought guys out of their prime. He fought names towards the end of his career.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao was towards the end.
That Pacquiao was a dog crap fight, if I remember correctly.
At the end of the day, though, 50-0. Like, how do you argue that?
That's nothing to sneeze at. But listen, if that's all you wanted to do, then you can fight some names down the line and just be like, hey, this will be a nice gate for you.
But he's also come up and down in weight classes and whatnot.
When he fought Conor, it said that Conor made $100 million off that fight. You know how much Mayweather made? $300 million.
Well, in his defense, didn't he have TMT or whatever it is doing all the work for it?
Yeah.
And that's his company. So he was making it as a fighter and a business owner.
Yeah, I mean, they use Showtime. So Showtime is partnered up with TMT for the boxing stuff. So there's a lot of things that were backdoor. That's how boxing, I always say boxing is corrupt because it's not a 50-50 split. But there's a lot of other things that go on.
Here's a guy that knows a thing or two about boxing. Floyd was still fighting good fighters up until his last. You just named them, though, Paul. Like, they were names. They weren't really great fighters anymore.
Well, they're still.
Pacquiao was in 15. He fought this Marcos Medina twice in 2014. Canelo Alvarez was good. It was in 13, so he wasn't that far. Miguel Cotto in 12. Sugar Shane Mosley in 2010. Now Mosley was on the back end, I think, of his career there.
So the last 7 years of his career, he's fighting guys that, did they really have a chance at it?
Yeah, I mean, he ducked Pacquiao while
For a
they were
long
both
time.
in the middle of
Until
it.
he
Wasn't there 2 years? Wasn't there 2 years that they just talked about the fight, and then you kind of let Pacquiao age out of it a little bit?
Basically, it might have been longer than that, to be honest.
And the only reason he had to fight a couple guys twice was because of the automatic rematch in the belt title stuff. So,
Well, you know what that is too. Is that goes into the contract, so you get double purse.
Right.
yeah.
He was good. Canelo was good. I mean, you're throwing one name out there. You know what I mean? Out of
8 years.
But
Yeah, that's how, like you said, that Pacquiao fight was boring because Pacquiao was towards the end of his career.
Yeah, I mean, and he fought De La Hoya in 2000.
He was also at
Oscar De La Hoya was bigger in the early 2000s.
Is
late
he still
90s.
alive?
Yeah,
Oscar De La Hoya?
he's like
he's
the
like a big
president.
promoter.
He's a politician in somewhere.
He's still a big promoter and
I
owns.
thought he died. Who was the guy that died that was like a big time boxer back in our day, like Sports Illustrated for kid days? I thought they just had somebody pass away not too long ago. I could be wrong.
I know Duran died not too long ago. I think. Pretty
I
sure.
have no idea. We need to take a quick break. Actually, when we come back, we'll probably get right to the G Berg Farms What's Your Beef, What's Your Filet, brought to you by our friends at G Berg Farms. But before we get there, we got to tell you once again about the Berlin Lake Golf Club annual golf cart raffle Sunday, September 5th at the annual corn roast. $50 for this beautiful ticket, and you have the chance to have this baby ripped, thrown into one of those raffles, rolled around a bunch, they pick it out, and you have your choice of a beautiful golf cart or $2,000. Cold hard cash, baby. Like Jeff, make it sprinkle. Make it sprinkle like you did on Friday, baby. Make it sprinkle. But you also, after you win the golf cart or the $2,000, your choice,
Yeah, Duran's still alive.
this baby goes right back in, and you have eligibility for the rest of the raffle. So technically, you could take everything home. You could sweep that baby, and only for $50. So make sure if you want in on the golf cart raffle, if you need a golf cart, Columbiana, we know you have a golf cart community, beautiful community out there. Head over to YSN, send us a message, we'll get you set up, or contact Aaron Moser directly. He's typically in the comment section, so you just got to reach out to him, send him a message on Facebook, and he'll get you hooked up. That is the Berlin Lake annual golf cart raffle, Sunday, September 5th at the annual corn roast. And get it now. Get it now, because September is creeping up on us, boys, faster and faster. We'll be 3 weeks in to football season by the time that raffle comes around. Scary to think about, and even scarier to look at the calendar. We'll take a break. When we come back, the G Burby Farms, What's Your Beef, What's Your Filet. Also, we'll do a little recap since three of the participants, do we have to say participants or just attendees of Ty's wedding are here on the show. So we'll give some shout outs to Ty and, of course, Jim Bartell, who was Jeff's best friend on Friday night. We will be back after this on the YSN Power Hour after this break. Come see one of the Valley's hidden gems. The Back Nine Bar and Grill on the Berlin Lake Golf Club is the perfect place for fellowship, fame, food, and fun. Check out our daily specials and ask about memberships. The Back Nine Bar and Grill on Hartzell Road in North Benton.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me, Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer goes the extra mile to bring you the largest selection of vehicles at one convenient location. With guaranteed credit approval, I will find you the right vehicle and the right financing options for you. I am ready to go the extra mile to show you why no other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Jimmy Sudman here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and 2 of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Welcome back to the Monday edition of the YSN Power Hour. Jeff's undershirt says, "Damn, I wish I would have been invited to the wedding." Jeff, you want to tell the story?
Yeah, I packed a bunch of stuff up, and I was like putting all my stuff in a bag, and I get to your house, and I'm like, all right, man, let's go get ready. And I was like, I got no undershirt for this white shirt that I'm going to wear without an under t-shirt. And I forgot an under t-shirt, and was the death of me.
It was not the death of you.
It wasn't terrible. Could have been better.
You were the life of the party, dude.
I know it was.
Yeah. Shirt wide open, collar popped, dancing, chest hair flowing.
Yeah, that taco meat was coming out of that shirt like no other, man. Like,
dude, I love it. It's beautiful. I won't ever shave.
Hey, Ty was rubbing on your chest.
I know.
It's so hairy.
I know. Listen. I shaved it one time, and I regret it every single time.
It wasn't a surprise, Chris. It was very easy. She couldn't resist taking pictures and videos, though. Oh, we almost had 5 buttons, Kate. I think it might have been 5.
At one point,
it was. At one point, it was. And it was all the way down, and then I realized I was like, I want to put one of these.
Billy, how many buttons run down when you picked them up that night?
He was all put together.
Oh, it was. I got put back together, and Billy, shout out to you, man, helping me out in a little bit of a
Hey, butthole. Hey, no. Billy, yes, shout out to you. You're the idiot, Jeff.
I knew what it took. I knew what it took to get me to the bar. Like, you were firm on telling me when we were going there that I'm not dropping you off. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I was going to do 2 things. I was going to let you drop me off at my house, and then I was just going to walk to Quench.
Not what you said.
I know what I said. That I had someone there to take me home. And I knew what I was doing, and I knew that person was not there. And I got dropped off by a DJ, and I was like, maybe should have just gone home at that point in time, because I was maybe a little bit too intoxicated. And
he doesn't even know what he said. You had the all-time great line for the DD, because you said basically, you either drop me off at Quench at this establishment, or I'm going to drive there. And I was like, well,
that would not have happened, because I knew 2 people that were up at that point in time, and they knew where I was at. So if I would have came home, I guarantee you them would have. My mom and my dad, Dean and Sue, would have definitely looked at me and was like, "You're not driving, are you?"
It was the ultimate sale, though, Jeff, because I had to make a decision based on my sobriety and based on your sobriety. I had to make a game time decision, and you forced my hand. You knew what it took. You played it well. I hate you.
Well, all I know is that Billy came up clutch, because there was like 4 or 5 people I called before that, and they were like, "No, we're not picking you up."
Billy, you were the 6th pick.
Yeah.
I was working on. I didn't want to bother him because I didn't know what he was doing.
40 minutes after. Like, I didn't call him back till like 40 minutes after he texted me because we were in the middle of a game.
Yeah, I didn't want to like bother him because I was like, he's probably doing a game. But I was like, just give it a shot. And he called me and I was like, yeah, dude, can you please come pick me up? And he's like, yeah, I got you. I'm like, thanks, bro. And we went to Sheets.
Oh.
2 Sheets.
Did you pay?
I did not pay for Billy.
What a scumbag.
I'm sorry, Billy.
That is the biggest scumbag move. You are a scumbag drunk. You know that?
I'm not that big.
You're a happy scumbag drunk, but you are a scumbag.
I know Ubers are a thing, but yeah, I'm not Ubering anytime soon. It was $15 to go from Quench to my house. That is less than a half a mile away. Like, Ubers are super expensive, and I was like, I just walk. And thanks to the bouncer, shout out Rick. He was like, you're not walking, bud. I was like, come on, dude. He's like, yeah, you're not walking. I'm like, okay, man. Because I just walk home because it's typical for me to just – I'm only about 5 minutes of walk away.
While we wait for this to load, let's go to your G. Berwick Farm. What's your beef? What's your filet? And, Paulie, we will start with you, my friend.
My beef is with I don't want to say like people committing, but I mean, if you say you're going to do something, just do it. It kind of pisses me off. I've been dealing with something for a little bit that somebody's been saying, yeah, they'll take care of it, and they haven't taken care of it, and now they're ducking my phone calls, and it's just like, you know what, whatever. It just kind of pisses me off. And then I had some more stuff pop up today of, just people who are committed to do stuff, and then they back out, and it's like, whatever.
Better not be YSN people.
If you don't want to do something, just don't do it. Don't say you're going to do it, and that's fine. But if you're going to say you do something, then do it.
Respect. Jeffrey, we're on to you.
Mine's a beef. It's just with me. And Mardell said it. I was going to do my beef today. Is that I texted him. I was like, dude, I'm going out. I'm going to go to Quench. And I've done it probably 3 or 4 times with him the last time we've tried to hang out. I usually am a little too intoxicated. And at that point in time, I just want to go home or go get food. So, Mardell, I will make it up to you in this next coming weekend. We definitely can hang out on Saturday night after I get done DD for my family.
All right. And Billy?
I got a beef. Mine's like an old school beef. It's just people who are just talking. They just talk behind you, and then they just never want to bring it up. So for that, scumbags.
Scumbag Central. Mine, I'm trying to pull it up, but it's not pulling up because it's the wrong format. So mine was hanging out with Carrie and Paul and Jeff on Friday night, and Ty and Ashley and the whole crew. Rated #1 wedding. Fantastic job. DJ was fantastic. Paul, you nailed it. One of the best in the business outside of you and, of course, Coach Seidel. But I will say this is Jeffrey owned the dance floor. He owned the dance floor, and he was a one-man wrecking crew when it came to owning the bar. And the best part of the night was trying to court a young lady.
Gotta go
on the way out.
Gotta go. Got a boyfriend. Gotta go.
What was the over under on shots?
I think I did about 10, easily.
It was close to that, yeah.
Yeah, I would say you were probably. I mean, you had a few calls at the bar that you just kept going back. But the best story of the night was on the way out, because Jeff was trying to court a young lady all evening long and
talk to her at the bar a little bit.
He was smooth as a piece of sandpaper because he went up to her. Jeff has a voice. He's got a voice. Like, we have our broadcasting voice. Jeff has a pickup voice. So, girl, where you going? Where you going? And I'm thinking to myself, I got my golf clubs in the back of the Equinox. She's not coming with us, so I don't know how she's getting from point A to point B.
Oh, but I know how she was getting there.
You, buddy.
Her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. So Jeff drops the old Where you going, girl? Where you going the rest of the night, girl? Why don't you come with us? And that's exactly how he said it. And she goes, not even a is an instant decision. She goes, oh, I'm just here waiting for my boyfriend to pick me up. Jeff goes, well, see you later. We'll see. He immediately reverts back to the JB that we know and love. And he was, poor Carrie had to go fish him out because he was like trying to figure out how to get from where he was to where he was going. And Carrie turns around, she's like, come on, love, come on, this way. And Jeff, I couldn't tell if he was crying or if he was laughing, because he was laughing and crying at the same time, because he just got absolutely train demolished.
Hey, it's all right. That's the worst thing.
It was.
Just move on to the next. Oh, see you later. Hey,
that's what I did. I just kept it moving.
I had one rule that night, Paul. What was it? That we are not going to be the last ones there.
Oh yeah.
And Jeff, you were pushing that envelope.
It was close.
It was close, and you turned and looked at me and were like, all right, we're going. I'm like, I still got 2 beers.
When the guy says last dance, I'm like, Jeff, we got to go. Like, we're not going to be the last ones here.
In my suit jacket, and I totally forgot. When I
How did you forget?
I just was like, all right. I'm like, this is probably just me. I probably drank a little too much.
Yeah. You just grew a couple tumors on your body that are shaped like beer.
And then I go in my suit jacket and I take I'm like, Coors Light? And the bouncer at the bar was like, whoa, can't bring those in here. So I was like, all right, I just drank them outside. And he goes, can't do that, Jeff. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I just throw them away then.
I mean, because he goes to the bar, he gets 3 full cans, comes back and sits at the table, and he's drinking the one. Bar closes. Okay, great. You got a couple road sodas there. You're ready to go. And it was like, last dance of the night. And we're like, well, that sucks. Okay.
I knew it.
Like, I'm just going to leave these beers here. And I'm like, you're going to waste 2 full cold cans of beer. Well, what am I going to do with them? I'm like, put them in your pocket.
You had the great opportunity to do the Stone Cold, and you did not.
He wouldn't do it. We tried to get him twice.
I was not going to do that.
He almost got RKO'd, though, Billy.
We would have saw some silver dollar nipples if he would have got
Who's going to RKO him? That would have been
He tried. It was right there.
With a cop behind me, by the way.
And it was laughing his ass off because he saw it coming. I think he wanted to see it. I think the cop wanted to see it 100%. But Jeff's like, what do I do with these beers? I'm like, put them in your pocket.
They were free. I did at that point in time. I'm just gonna leave them.
So you're gonna waste alcohol just because you were.
Hey, Freddie Frugal.
Take it anyways. They were gonna have alcohol. It's going back. It wasn't like going to be just thrown away.
That's gonna do it for our show. It was a great show, and awesome. I appreciate you guys popping in. Check us tomorrow. I will not be on the show tomorrow. I've got some business to tend to from the 12 o'clock hour on, and then I will be doing some games tomorrow as well. Tune in tonight. We got 10U Baseball on the network. 4 games tonight, and then tomorrow, Anthony, 12-3 for Running Points, and right here, you guys, hopefully, steering the ship 3-4 right here for the Power Hour. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors for keeping us going, and thanks to you for always watching. That's going to do it for our show. We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe, be well, and be happy.